And Adonis's Carol Ann here. Carol Ann here, and today is Ask Me Anything Thursday here in the Six Figure Goddess Facebook group. And this is the day that I answer questions from my community. Now, I do get a lot of questions about a lot of different things, but the overwhelming majority of the questions that I receive are about how to create an irresistible offer. So I decided to do a free training in 6 parts for now about how to create an irresistible offer. And I broke it down into 10 ingredients that every offer should have. So if you're not sure, if you're not familiar with my work, again, I'm Carol Ann DeSimine. My business is alignbelievecreate.com, and my brand is The Goddess Way to Thrive in Business. And what I do is I work with spiritual entrepreneurs, mostly coaches, healers, service-based experts, and authors to help you create a six-figure business. Because what I see is that many entrepreneurs, that my clients, the ones that I work with, the ones that I attract, are at the 5-figure mark, and they've been there for a while, and they just are spinning on that hamster wheel and just can't seem to get off. So the Goddess Way is all about simplicity and alignment. So today I'm going to start my training on the 10 ingredients of every irresistible offer. And my background is in public relations, believe it or not. Not many people realize that. And public relations is all about image. It's all about getting very clear on your niche, who you're here to serve, what you're here to do, and then communicating through the proper channels. I also taught for 10 years in the journalism department of my local university. So the way I approach things is with those journalistic 5 questions, well, actually 6. Who, what, when, where, why? And then the 6th one is how. So anytime you start a project or in business, we're talking, because you really want to get clear and be able to communicate your value and communicate all the details of every offer, right, or anything that you're doing. So I like to use that framework to make sure that I am including all the information that's necessary. So in this training, even though there are 10 ingredients, I broke it down into 6 concepts or 6 categories. And the very first one is who. And in the who category, there are 2 ingredients. Before I get started, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button or give me a like. If you are watching this on Facebook, let me know you're here. Say hi. And if you're watching the replay and you have any questions, just post them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them later on. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying, the first category is who. And under the who category, there are 2 ingredients. But first, let's talk about what is an offer and what makes an offer irresistible. How do I say this? Popular belief is that your offer is your course or your program. That is true in a way, but really it's not, because nobody really wants your course or your program, right? I mean, they want the result that you provide. So if somebody's going to say they want to lose 30 pounds, well, they don't really want to spend, 90 days doing what it takes to lose that 30 pounds. If you work with me in my mastermind, you don't want to spend a whole year creating a 6-figure business. You want that result, right? So when you are creating an offer, when you're making an offer, it really is inviting your prospects to go through that process with you to get that result. So the offer itself is the ask. It's what you're providing as the outcome. What makes an offer irresistible? Well, I break it. There are a lot of things, but three things really are crucial. And one is that it offers a specific solution or outcome in the fastest way possible. That's the first thing. I mean, people want fast results nowadays, right? The second is that your messaging is very, very specific and outcome based. And when people read about your offer, and that's why we're going through these 10 ingredients, they know exactly what they're going to get. And then third, your offer should be something that your ideal clients already want. You know that there's a need for it. So many of us, and I did this myself, we have this great idea. Oh, this is exactly what people need, right? And then we go ahead and we create a course or a program around it. Now, we know that it can help. We know people need whatever it is that our program's about, but they don't always know it for themselves, right? So you don't want to go creating a program or a course when there really isn't a need for it. So those are really the three things you should think about to begin with. And then when you and I'm all about simplicity and alignment. And when I say alignment, I mean that we're all here for a reason, right? We all have a purpose on this earth. We were given gifts, talents, and certain experiences so we can impart them into the world. And I work with entrepreneurs, so I'm specifically talking about entrepreneurship because your business is the vehicle for you to live your purpose. At least that's my come from. That's my take on it. So I'm assuming that you know why you're here and that your offer is built around that thing that only you do the way you do it. So you don't have to go searching for a topic for an offer. You know what you have to give, and that's what you create your program around, right? Okay. So let's get to the 10 ingredients. And the first category, like I said, is who. So the first who is your offer for? Now, if you've been in business for any length of time, you should know your niche. Your niche is the segment of society that has the problem that you solve, that you work with best. That segment of society that you work with best. For example, I'm going to use a client that I worked with a couple years back. She specifically worked with women who had 30 pounds to lose. Not 5 pounds, not 100 pounds, but just 30 pounds. That's very, very specific, right? So you do want your niche to be specific. And no, don't worry about niching down, about leaving anybody out, because the more niche down you are, the more people will hear and know what you're all about, and the easier it will be to attract your soul tribe. And that's what we're talking about here, attracting your soul tribe, the people who are really meant to work with you. So you should know your niche by now. I work with experienced entrepreneurs. If you're a new entrepreneur and you don't know your niche, I suggest you do the work to get really, really clear on it. And, sometimes you need to switch your niche, right? So you might start out with one niche and then decide, well, you don't like doing this, or you don't like, getting that result or the people you're working with, and so you switch it up. That's fine. I did the same thing. I took about 3 years to really switch from being a branding expert to what I do now, which is helping women mostly and men to create an online business that gets them to six figures. So that's the first thing. Who is your offer for? When you decide who it's for, you have to include it in your marketing copy. You're speaking directly to that person. Some people call it your ideal client avatar. Your ideal client avatar is not the same thing as your niche. The way I teach niche is this. You have a large target audience, right? They're the people you serve. For example, my target audience is entrepreneurs. But within that group, that large target audience is my niche. I work with entrepreneurs who are spiritual, who are of a certain age, but they don't have to be. But they're generally at five figures. If I'm promoting my mastermind, they're generally at five figures. Sometimes they're at four figures, but they're established. They know what they're here to do, right? So that's my niche. That's the smaller group. I'm not speaking to my entire target audience, but I just know that if you're not an entrepreneur, you are not for me. And then I know that if you're a spiritual entrepreneur who wants to get to six figures, you are in my niche. And then I have my ideal client avatar. Now, your ideal client avatar is that one person that you hold in your mind. You hold a vision of her in your mind, and you write all your marketing copy as if you're speaking to that one person. Now, she is representative of your niche and your larger audience. So it really helps, though, to identify your ideal client avatar. So when you are writing, I like to call it a love letter, right? You're writing a love letter to that one person. So that's the difference. So, but when you're crafting marketing messaging for your offer, you really want to think about your niche because that's the larger audience that you're attracting. So call that niche out in your marketing copy. For example, if you are writing a sales page, you might say, hey, if you're a coach, spiritual entrepreneur looking for blah, 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 this is for you. I mean, that's a really lousy example, but you get the idea, right? You have to let people know, you have to let your ideal clients know that they're in the right place when they land on your sales page or any place where you have your marketing copy. And these 10 ingredients, you're not going to use every single one every single time. But when you create your sales pages, which are very, very long, especially if you're selling something, then you really should include these things. First and foremost, though, you have to be clear in your mind of what these things are. So that's the first two. The first two is, who is this offer for? Get very, very clear on that. And I'm talking about your niche, not just your ideal client avatar. The second, who, is about you. Who are you to make this offer? What gives you the right, so to speak, to claim that you can help your soul tribe with their challenges, issues, or whatever? And we're going to get into challenges and issues probably next week, but now we're just talking about the who. You have to show why you are the one that people should be working with to get this particular result or outcome. And there has been a huge mindset shift in 2021. Hey, Eugenia. Yep, be clear on who your offer is for. Very, very important. So getting back to that mindset shift. With COVID, I mean, and everybody being sequestered and online, losing their jobs and things like that, so many people have turned to online and started businesses, right? And they are looking for help. A lot of entrepreneurs did really, really well in 2020. That's kind of shifted a little bit since the beginning of the year because those people who jumped on the online business bandwagon, right, and kept hearing that it was so easy, well, guess what? Now they see that it's not, right? It takes work to create a successful online business. So but what I'm getting at is there are more and more people out there who are online selling programs and courses and making offers. So you have to show that you are the one for your people. And I always say that client attraction isn't energetic. People are going to resonate with your energy. They're going to resonate with your words. They're going to read your copy and they're going to say, oh, this person is the person for me. That's what you want. So when you are writing, show why you are the one that people should work with you. Yes, and we're going to get to why in maybe not next week, maybe the week before, but why is a big thing, right? So when you're showing why you are the one, you really have to not, how do I say this? Not prove your credibility. I mean, it's not about all the letters that are behind your name. It's more about making that heart connection. And it's more about showing that you really understand your ideal client's problem. Okay, please give an example of how you show you are the one. Okay, I'll give you an example. So I understand the pain of an online entrepreneur who has tried everything to get to six figures, right? I've been at six figures. I lost my six figures. Then I was at six figures again, and then I wasn't. And I tried this and I tried that. And what I've learned in 14 years of business, how many as an online entrepreneur? 6 as an online entrepreneur, is I really do understand the struggles of somebody who is at 5 figures, trying everything, spending more and more money, and just can't get ahead. They get a client, then they lose a client, then they get another client and lose one. Then they make an offer, nobody buys. So I have been through that, the ups and downs, and I really dialed in what it takes to simplify your business to get to six figures. So that's how I feel I set myself apart. I was a branding expert. So there are a lot of different things that show that I understand my client's pain. And what I say is that not everybody can be Oprah. And I'm using this analogy for the gurus, and I use that term loosely because really we are all gurus, right? We're all experts in our area. But the ones who have been around for a while, who are making, 7 figures and beyond, do they really understand what somebody who was stuck at 5 figures is going through? Probably not. Like I understand the 5 figure mindset because I've been stuck there and it wasn't too long ago. And not to mention, I know a lot of stuff and I'm very, very creative. So I see my clients, I see their pain, but more than that, I see who they are, and I'm going to not give them any cookie cutter solution to their problems. I'm really going to give a solution that is particular to them and for what is right for them. Because, you can hand out a marketing strategy across the board, but it's not for everyone. So that's really what I'm for certain people, is that I really see you. Like I said, not everybody can be Oprah, but those of us who are, down here are the, let's say, the unheard or unseen Oprahs. We are seen and heard by our people. So, and that, Legina, you attract your tribe too. So I hope that was an adequate explanation. So anyway, but you really, getting back to why you need to show why you are the one to solve this problem, is that you need to tell your story that is related to the problem itself and to your offer itself. You're not telling your life story. You're not telling all the, you're listing your credentials. You're really making that heart connection to let your prospect see that you really do understand her and her situation, and that you will do everything that you can to get her out of that situation and, whatever the result is. So that's really about the who. You have to be relevant. You have to build rapport. You have to show your authority. But again, it's not about your credentials. And the way you do this is you show up live on video. People really need to see your energy. And I think that that's a lot of what goes on in client attraction, is the energetic. But in your marketing copy, in your sales pages, you always write about yourself a little bit. You don't want to write about yourself too much. Or say you're giving a webinar. You don't want to talk about yourself for 20 minutes. You just want to really include the parts of your story that are going to connect to your offer and show that you really understand, number one, your prospect. You understand the need for creating that offer. So those are the two who's. And I'm also creating a free report around this because I think people don't understand that they have to make that connection. And when you're creating an offer, you're showing up talking about that result that you get for people, right? And so you're positioning yourself every single place that you show up, on your Facebook Lives, in your emails. You always want to make that connection back to your offer, the result that you get. And this is why I say create offers around your one thing. You know what your purpose is. You know the problem that you solve for others. Create a high-end offer that is going to be the most transformational outcome for your clients. However, not everybody is going to come into a high-end offer at first, but that's the biggest transformation that you provide, and then you can create more, let's just say smaller offers around that one thing, but they're all around the one thing. Not about 10 different things just because one offer's not successful and bringing you the money that you think you should be making. No, you want to stay with your one thing, your purpose, and just tweak the offer, tweak the copy, tweak, how you're talking about it. The thing is about offers is, and this happens quite often, you, again, like I said, you think that it's something that your ideal clients need, but they don't. That's a big mistake too. So if you spend all this time creating an offer only to find out your people don't want it, you've wasted a lot of time. So this is why, get known for that one thing, create multiple streams of income around that one thing, but don't try to reinvent the wheel over and over again. I hope this was helpful. I do have a course around this called Create and Launch Your Six-Figure Signature System, because the way I approach it is that you do create that signature system, a step-by-step process to take your ideal clients through to get that result. But then from there, that's like a mid-priced offer. Then from there, you have your higher end offer. And then once you are successful, once it's proven, you've proven the concept, then you can create smaller offers like courses, passive products, and that sort of thing. Many people get it backwards, right? You know, because there's so many courses out there, people think, well, I'm just going to create a course and I'm going to make all this money. Well, the course is the last thing you do, really, after you've established yourself as getting your ideal clients that big result, and then maybe having some mid-priced group programs, because you do want to leverage your worth. And we'll get into this a little bit more in, you know, down the road. So anyway, if you want to learn more about my offers, go to my Create and Thrive Academy page, which is academy.alignbelievecreate.com. Or go to my website, alignbelievecreate.com, and you can read more about me and what I do. And there are a lot of freebies on that page as well that you can download. Okay, thanks to you for being here. Thanks to anybody who's listening to the replay. Post your questions in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to reply. If you have any questions that you want me to address next week, just be sure to post them in the Facebook group or on YouTube. And until next time, peace.